Yo, it's Death for the Cloud Chaser TV, man. We back up in this thing again. You dig? Hey, man, we appreciate you tuning in. You hear me? But we got a special episode brought to you by the people. You know what I'm saying? And this is the Dirty 30 episode, right? The Dirty 30 episode. So like most people, they probably gonna think Dirty 30, you a person going into their 30s, right? Man, what if I told you that it was some corrupt cops? What if I told you that cops was selling drugs, was the plug, they would call it in today's time, right? The cops was the plug. And you know what I'm saying? We're gonna call this the Dirty 30 episode because we're gonna get into it. But before we bring in the special guest, man, to talk about some of the situations on the area, what the police was doing, right? Let me bring you up to speed. The Dirty 30 scandal took place in New York Police Department between 92 and 95. The largest collection, the 30th precinct, that was a precinct that was in Harlem. That's why it's called the Dirty 30. So people were like, damn, the Dirty 30? Right? It's the 30th precinct in Harlem. Police was charged with corruption amongst, other things. You know what I'm saying? They had charges from like civil rights conspiracy. You know what a civil rights conspiracy charge is? Huh? You know what type of charge that is, people? It's crazy. But a civil rights charge. And then we move towards good morning, fam. Shout out Youngstown, Ohio, man. Yes, sir, man. Corey Turner in the building. Um, but just imagine though, bro, from 92 to 95, these people was involved in civil rights conspiracy, perjury, extortion, grand larceny, and possession and distributing of narcotics. The scandal led to numerous arrests because when they say numerous arrests, it was actually 33 people arrested in this indictment. 33 people was arrested, but only 15 was actually indicted. You know what I mean? And it's like it's crazy because a lot of people they think they know their history, but they don't even know that the police in Harlem, New York, between 92 and 95 had a whole drug ring. You know what I mean? So imagine that. This is going on in the United States, people. So I don't care where you from or what regions you from or what walk of life you from. This was going on in the USA. You know what I mean? And that's one of the main reasons why we talking about it. You know, I'm gonna give you a different type of background. Dirty 30 were mostly sanctioned at the 30 precinct. It's because they didn't all come from the 30 precinct. You gotta have willpower and power to, move around a city like New York. So you gotta have more than just Harlem. You know what I mean? But that was just the center of it, the center of attention, you know. And the 30th precinct in Harlem, Upper Manhattan, at the time of the area was known for cocaine capital of the world, Craig. This was known to be cocaine capital of the world. You feel me? Basically, the cops was the robbers. Yeah. Cops was cops and robbers. They was both of them and drug dealers. It's crazy. Corruption at its finest. You know what I mean? It's like beyond crazy, man. But at this particular time, man, Upper Manhattan between 92 and 95 was known as cocaine capital of the world, Craig. You understand? So during this time, you had locals, law enforcement, police corruption. You had probably, if they got aldermen, whoever, you know what I'm saying, any type of official was being tagged into, corruption because that's what type of money was going on in the field. Because corruption don't come without money coming into play. You know what I mean? You gotta have bread to have corruption even involved. That ain't for like peons. It ain't for like naysayers. It's for people who know what they mean and know what they say. You understand? Them the type of people that gets involved in corruption. We just seen history. We seen it repeats itself over and over. So what I'm saying is not nothing that's unfamiliar for people who, saying do their research. You feel me? And salute to y'all, the people that do their research, you know. But not only was like Harlem the cocaine capital, you had people that was like they say that you would say that even going back to Frank Lucas, the Vietnam story, from when the drugs is coming over from the drugs is actually coming over from Vietnam to the United States, right? So you got the drugs coming over from Vietnam to the United States. You got people like Lucas thriving in the United States. Not just giving, like, people don't understand though that these particular drugs or this particular contraband band, right, did not just live in Harlem, New York. It lived throughout the United States. So it might have entered through some of the harbors in, what I'm saying, New York, but it translated through the whole United States. So again, we got these guys like the Dirty 30, and I'm gonna tell you what type of guys these was, right? Like a gram of powder cocaine, right? At the time, it'd be selling from $50 to $90. These dudes, if they ran across you, they'll sell you a gram for $20 to $25 when it comes to the, the wholesale prices they give in the neighborhoods, right? The normal price for the average person, because remember, these cops, they taking the drugs and selling it right back to you, right? This is on record. The Dirty 30 crew. So they taking the drugs and selling it right back to you, right? So they go from a key at the time, say it cost 22,000. They'll sell you the key between 16 and 18,000 off top. Off top, right? Yeah. This is a Corey Turner. This is a nationwide thing. That's a fact. You know, that's a nationwide thing. In one case, the sergeant and two officers stopped a man in an apartment complex and took his keys and then ransacked the apartment without a warrant. They let the man go afterwards, taking several thousands of dollars in drugs and cash. See, this was an everyday occurrence for these people. They'll go and rob and steal, you know what I'm saying, all through Harlem, but mainly in the 30th precinct. We gonna bring the special guest online. He gonna tell us a little bit more, But just imagine though, you know, these people just it's just crazy, man. They also participated in various extortion with illegal drugs, wholesale, giving officers weekly payouts that range from $600 to $1,000 a week. And you talking about in 92 to 96, people. $1,000 a week. That's $52,000 extra cash free every year. And that's probably for them just, hey, just taking the other eye every now and then. You don't think that they was taking that? Of course. That's why they arrested, like I said, 33 people. 15 people were indicted in this particular crime, you know? And this was like, they hadn't seen nothing like this in New York for over a decade. Because in New York, this actually type of stuff that happens all the time. It's similar to Chicago. Last few governors in Illinois is in prison. Extortion, corruption, money bring power, but it also bring, a lot of stuff that people don't, And the reason that a lot of these charges was brung up is because I'm gonna tell you, like, and before we bring the special guest on, right? You know, it was a lot of perjury involved. It was a lot of violating black people rights. Ain't that crazy? Cause during this time, even though you had the dirty 30, like, you know, and they in Harlem and they doing their thing, and you know, you got mixed culture in Harlem. But during this time, these dudes was violating black people. They was violating Hispanics on a daily, man. It's crazy, right? And you talking, you know, you talk about people coming together and being one, you know, and I'm just gonna get to it, man. Like this started in 1992, where they want to say it's on record, right? But I'm gonna bring the special guest in, man. One of the Harlem representatives, man. You know what I'm saying? Zeke Black, man. Talk to him, Zeke Black. Let him know exactly, like, when you first heard of in 92, like, did you, like, let me ask you a question before you even hop on, Zeke. Before you even came on to the scene, right? And you seen, like, you never even heard of no cops giving out, you know, cheaper dope, or, you know, selling things at a wholesale price, other than like Poppy from up the street. You know what I mean? So before you ever heard of this type of stuff going on, Z Black, I want you to tell the people, like, did you see a shift though, like in 92? Did you see a shift from 91 to 92? Let's keep it a buck.
Okay, Buck. I'm from East Harlem, 99th Street. That's where 1992. That's where I was at. East Harlem, 99th Street, Lexington Avenue. Now, in my hood, that wasn't going on. The 23rd precinct, they was more they was more chasing the guns, because that point in time in New York City, the murder rate was up. Over 1,000 people was dying. So on my side, we didn't see it, because whenever we sold a drug, we just went straight to jail. Like, no cops never came to us on the east side where I was at, and it's like, yo, listen, we just bagged somebody for a brick here. Why don't you sell it on the block? That wasn't going on where I was at on the east side. 23rd precinct was more putting their hands on you. You know what I'm saying? They was basically, you know what I'm saying? They was basically chase you down. You know what I'm saying? Like a cop called Blondie. He was more like, they was more chasing the guns, because like I told you, they was focused on the murder rate where I was at, 9-2. Um, um, on my block, the police it wasn't business. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
wasn't, it was strictly cops and robbers. You know what I'm saying? They jump out, they booking us. If they got you, they got you. It wasn't no, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly. Pac-Man
So
knows a lot of bodies dropping. You know what I'm saying? They was chasing the bodies.
so towards in 92, you saying that a lot of bodies was dropping in like 92 when it
Yeah.
come to this whole dirty 30 movement. When you first seen it from like 91 to 92, like that first drift, you know, did you see like a big change, other than, like, he said Pac-Man and then was going hard for
Yeah.
guns on the 23rd, a lot of bodies was dropping. So,
Yep.
like, what else was going on though? Like, was people becoming like financially stable? Was it like, you know, people being caught up in the law? Was a lot of people going to prison?
It it was a lot of money on the streets. So a lot of guys was just focusing on the bag, because the murder rate was up. The 23rd precinct, that's in my neighborhood. So a lot of the bosses was more so on getting to the bag without no violence on my side, on the east side. Um, because the main police that was on our back was the guns and the homicide police. So it was bad for business. So we kept that out of it. You know what I'm saying? We definitely kept that. We kept the violence out the game. So it was like, it was weird, but it was a peaceful way of hustling, because the police wasn't playing on that. Like we couldn't pay the police. There was no dirty. There was probably dirty cops, but we couldn't pay them. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. No, I get you. So like, but at the same time, it was dirty cops being paid off, but I guess they was being paid off in their whole own organization. You know what I'm saying? It was like sort of like a blue gang. Like when people would say like NYPD really run their city. You know what I'm saying? They the biggest gang in the city. They got the most members. And these are some of the details that's coming out, people. From
Yeah,
92 to 95, you had the dirty 30. Like when people think of that, they be like effing and joking. They like dirty 30. I'm in my dirty 30s, you dig?
yes,
I'm
sir.
partying, da 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 da. But no, man, it's bigger than that. This is actually a scandal in New York City, in Harlem, where it was police officers going around selling dope. So say for example, if a brick cost 22,000, they were selling the brick for 15,000, 16,000. You know, um, say for example, 22,000 was wholesale. Big Dog really sell it for 20, 24, 23, 20, 20, 24, 25. You know, we talking a different time period, people. We talking like it was a lot of money involved. A lot of people became millionaires, man. And like Zeke Black, I want to ask you, just following up that whole, what I just did right there is like the main focus is like a lot of bodies was dropping during this time because you know why? That's because they needed power and structure. So these people was probably causing the bodies to be dropped. You understand?
Yeah.
Because power and structure. Now let's speed up to the next year. Like now, what type of impact did you see towards 93? Is the killing stopping? Is the money starting to flow more?
93 was a good year. It was a lot of money.
Right, I
Uh,
can imagine.
93, there was a lot of structure going on in the hood. Where I was at, there was a lot of structure. Now the Dirty 30, they was on the west side, the Sugar Hill area, like from 139th Street or 135th, and like Amsterdam, Broadway, Hamilton Place, going towards Washington Heights. You know what I'm saying? Like 141 in Broadway is Sugar Hill, not Washington Heights. Washington Heights is more so for like more uptown, but that right there, that was the weight capital of the world. But we're gonna get into that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, let's
Everything
definitely
was
get
structured.
into that, man. Cause it's
Yeah,
like
yeah. That
people
side, yes,
people not understanding that, like you just said, the weight capital, like they literally during this time period, Harlem, Harlem was named cocaine capital of the world, Craig. You
yes,
understand? It was named cocaine capital of the world.
yeah.
Big money.
Now, now going to the west side, that area that we call Sugar Hill was really the weight cap. At that point in time, it was the weight capital of the world. You couldn't walk 2 blocks without getting snatched by 30 Dominicans with Jerry curl juice rolling down their head. That was the flow. Shout out to my Dominicans. Um, I'm not. It was weird because if you really went to go buy some weight from somebody in that area, it was weird that you wouldn't get police contact. But some dudes was getting police contact if they hopped in the cab and the police stopped the cab. But if you can physically go on certain blocks and buy a brick and really physically walk 5 blocks down and police don't bother you. They just right on past you. Unless you did something to get their attention. That was weird to me. That part was weird to me. How dudes had buildings and like I go in the building, I go see my man, I go pick something up, and they'd be like, yo, just wait right here. And I was like, huh? This, you know what I'm saying? Yo, just go up the block. So they had it situated where they would physically tell you like how to get out the hood. Like, yo, go up the block, turn over there. When you get to Amsterdam, there's a cab service right by Blimpies, hop in the cab, go uptown, don't worry about it. Follow that route, police ain't gonna bother you. And that's when I began to realize like this is weird. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was a safe place to purchase narcotics. So when you make it a safe place to purchase narcotics, more clientele comes when you can buy as much weed as you want and you're not going to jail. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's definitely a fact. And then like a lot of people, you know, so I'm seeing people coming in on different websites, man. Shout out boxing.com, you know what I'm saying? Salute. Um, you know, they was saying like even, you know, that it makes a whole lot of sense even becoming an era before that. You got these cops doing this with who got caught. You know, these the people who got caught. We're not saying that allegedly it was other people before them who held a certain type of hierarchy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So with that being said, you know, you had people like Alpo, you had people like Frank Lucas
yeah.
becoming, you know what I'm saying, the trendsetters of the whole United States.
Yes, yes. It
You
it it,
know,
it was
they
success.
went everywhere. The CIA, man, you can look it up. It's all on. These are facts we talking, people. So you know, like so when Zeke Black talking about like how you know, a lot of times, you know, it was, you know, going crazy. It really was. You know, when the money was coming in, it really was coming in.
I mean, because they knew that by paying the police, you could run a business now. Because the average person, I mean, they had people from like people just in New York wasn't going to Sugar Hill to purchase drugs. You also had people that was coming from Tennessee, North Carolina, Virginia, from different states coming to Sugar Hill to buy weight, to get work, Jersey. So it was they knew by certain crews in that area knew by paying the police. It was monetary. It was monetary gain. Just like they was robbing some guys for their cocaine, they would go to these same guys, like you said, and listen, sell these bricks for me for this and give me that. You know what I'm saying? And we got to the point where what was getting them caught up was when you said about the human rights. There was a situation one time on 141 in Broadway. There used to be a Chinese restaurant on the corner, and these guys, the police was on camera putting their hands and feet on somebody, digging in their pockets, robbing dudes. They got in the car, dude Duke against the wall, dug his pockets on camera. And that's what really blew their spot up, that situation. When it was like, you know what I'm saying? They went and they violated somebody's civil rights in the Chinese restaurant. And then that's when all scopes was on them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
No, no
saying?
doubt, no doubt. So
Yeah.
like you saying so this like that first violation when you thinking when the civil rights came, you thinking that came like 93?
Like
You
around
think they was
1994.
going around violating people around that time?
Man, they was super violating. I mean, they was doing that in the beginning, but it wasn't nothing on camera. So if I'm hustling and you book me for a break, I'm just happy I'm not going to jail. But they started just ODing. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll see somebody that they probably tell them you owe me some money, you got to pay me every week, and the person ducking them. They caught one guy in the Chinese restaurant and they put hands and feet on him, and after that it was a wrap. You know what I'm saying? They started putting all scopes on them after that. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that played a part to their demise. They did that, and then it was something else that happened. There was a shootout. Something went wrong in the shootout, and I guess a Kia cocaine was in the car, and the Kia cocaine. I'm not even saying guess. The Kia cocaine popped up missing. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of their case. That actually Kia cocaine was a part of their case where something happened by 134th or 135th, and they had the drugs, and they put the drugs right back on the street. They was playing a dirty game. They was they was really violating a lot of individual civil rights. You know what I'm saying? But when you got $1 million building, I mean you had buildings that was making $1 million a day in Washington
And
Heights.
they was violating black and brown, correct? Like
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? And then you had dudes that, you got $1 million block. The only way I'm not gonna get I remember this is a fact. I remember going to 141, going to pick something up from out of town, right? Police sitting on the corner blowing whites. I walked past, my man said, don't worry about them. I never paid it no mind though. You know what I'm saying? My man be like, yo, don't even worry about them, black. Like, all right, whatever. Just wait right here. I got you. Yo, go up the block, keep going straight, go to Amsterdam, get right by Blimpies, hop in the cab. You know what I'm saying? Just go 10 blocks down and hop back on the train and go home. Bro, it was crazy. Like, so just think about how safe it was for the average person to purchase drugs. That's, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't that you had to worry about getting beat. The whole thing was you didn't want to get caught. You didn't want to get caught. Like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't want to get locked up. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, yo, you could just go to Washington Heights, certain blocks. Certain blocks you was safe. It was crazy. I mean, it wasn't really crazy. It was just business. They paid. It wasn't working with the police. They was paying the police. But sometimes, like I told you, some dudes are hopping these funny cabs on Amsterdam. Police bloop them. They was violating dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They was busting dudes over their head. They was locking dudes up, taking
So
their
that,
money.
like what they say is, and this ain't even alleged, right? What they was doing is like they'll smack you over the head, take
Yeah,
your pack, and then
yeah,
go back to your same block and resell it. You know what I'm saying? This the
yeah.
type of vibes they was doing, people.
You know what I'm
They was
saying?
doing this all through New York, but mainly Harlem, 30 precinct. That's where they
Yes.
get the name 3030 from.
And
Crazy,
what
right?
yes, sir. And what came out of that is a lot of the major way plays that was in Sugar Hill, Harlem, Sugar Hill. And there was a lot of players. There was a lot of players. I mean, structured blocks, like you said, structured blocks is possibly making $1 million a day selling pure weight. You know what I'm saying? Because it's no worry. You could go when you go to somebody's block and buy 5 kilos of cocaine and walk right out and hop in your car and just drive in the wind and don't get stopped. It's crazy. Now I'm not gonna lie to you. They they was bagging some dudes that didn't want to play. Yeah, and I come off their block, they'll bloop me on purpose. Oh, you don't want to pay? You're gonna start locking up dudes that come up your block. And that's why there was a lot of cats getting bagged coming up with certain blocks if we didn't do nothing stupid. Because everybody didn't want to pay them. So they knew how they knew to disrupt your business was to lock dudes up. Because I'm not going back to a block I just got bagged on. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
so that's how they was affecting people's business by playing cops. You know what I'm saying? All right, they don't want to pay. They used to make dudes pay, bro. But it made it structured. I'm not gonna lie to you. It made it structured. And don't get it twisted. A lot of them spots was closing after like 10 o'clock at night. Certain spots was 24 hours, but a lot of dudes was out of there by a certain time. That's how much pressure the dirty 30 had on dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then like they even saying like how like for the most part they only investigated them for 2 years. So when we talking about this little time period, these dudes was around when Alpo was around.
Yeah,
You feel me? These
yeah,
dudes was around when Alpo was around. This was the original regime. You feel me?
yeah,
These same captains, these same people was around during that time making sure these drugs hit these streets, people.
yeah.
See, what y'all don't realize is like the science behind it. Like, how did that connect with that? How did you was already headed for destruction before you even knew it? You know what I mean? And like a lot of people need to understand that now we know these facts and now we know these type of details. It ain't that we need to try to dispute it. It's more so embrace it. You know what I'm saying? Move forward, you know. And like with Zeke Black, like when I'm saying like these people, was investigated for 2 years and only 2 years, but these dudes been in power for probably a decade.
Decade.
They was the last regime that came out, because a decade before that, we'll talk about that on the next episode. But before that, it was another crew of police officers that was doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Not the same thing, but the exact same thing. Corruption, civil
Mhm.
rights violations, and we're not talking about just black, we're talking about brown too.
Yes.
And they probably violated some white people violations. I'm not sure, but maybe they did. Because anything is in America is different. When you see, that's why they changed laws in New York, and you think about it now in retrospect, like, wow, these dudes in New York had the whole law where they can just pull up on you and start searching you for no reason. You know what I mean? With no nothing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But they had to have these people come in and change that law. You know why
Yes.
that law was implemented? Because of money and greed. Because if you can always approach a person with that type of mind state, guess what you're gonna always probably get?
Yeah, you're
You
right.
won't be ahead. I know that.
Let me tell you, you know what's so crazy? You know what's so crazy? Remember how we talk about TNT sweeps and TNT sweeps? When we talk about like TNT, they would sweep my block, other blocks. They never used to sweep those blocks. It's like they had their heads up about TNT. Like it's like these dudes is paying them. These police are putting them on. Yo, TNT gonna roll through today. Shh, don't open up. It was like there was really no team. Like what shut Washington Heights down heavy was the feds came in. Once they bagged them, they started talking. They started giving up other blocks. Yo, such and such. They had black books. They had names. They had phone numbers, and it just trickled down to those early Fed cases that was going on at Washington Heights. Because the biggest crew, but the other biggest thing that was going on in Washington Heights, other than that generation, was the the Jerry Kill posse. You know what I'm saying? They was getting a lot of money. And I'm pretty sure they had them in the pocket. You know what I'm saying? You had the Spranglers. They was in Sugar Hill area also. So like you're right, there was a lot of money, man. And for these guys to keep this structure, those dirty cops made millions. You know what I'm saying?
Millions of
Like
dollars, man. They probably still
millions
own
of dollars.
property to this day in that particular area. I wouldn't be doubting it. I wouldn't be
Yo,
doubting it if somebody did a little bit of research and they looked into who owned property in certain neighborhoods. It's probably police officers. I
and
wouldn't be
yes,
surprised.
and just to touch on this, the reason why I'm so familiar with it before, because I used to do business with somebody that was on 141 in Broadway. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm familiar with that, because I did business with somebody there. That happened to be a good friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? And there's times that it wasn't that, like I told you, they kept the Stickum kids away, and the only way we had to worry about when you went to Sugar Hill, Washington Heights, was the police. So if you're able to purchase your narcotics and not worry about getting bagged, you will be back. You will be back again, because everybody wants safety and security. You know what I'm saying? Give me some good work, and please, I don't want to go to jail. Or can I purchase good work and not get robbed down the block? And these hustlers was able to secure that. Like my man, my good friend of mine, he never got locked up by blue and whites, like as in a state case. The feds took him down. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole other story. But the feds took him down. Him and his crew down. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna front, man. Those cops. Yo, man, like I said, you had TNT running through, but the major blocks that dudes that was paying, they was getting their heads up. Yo, shut down. Don't open up today. Disappear. Get lost. And dudes was getting lost. You know what I'm saying? They was shutting their blocks down. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And just with the heads up or that type of heads up, man, that alone would take someone to the next level, meaning that you can be able to profit off of your particular block. You feel me? Everybody know how it go, but at the end of the day, I don't think, like, when we watch movies and we think of organized crime, a lot of people think that it's fake. They think that the officers are not really involved. They think that the politicians and the politics is really not involved. But, you know, how could history dispute itself? I'm just saying, people.
That's facts. It's purely facts. And that was just the Sugar Hill section. Like I told you, my experiences. I was doing business with somebody over there, so that's how I know. And I got to see the vibes. Like I remember it was the year that Sammy Sosa broke the record. Now a lot of people say, Zeke, why don't give us dates, months, calendar dates? Because if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Some things are just logical. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? When I say the year that Sammy Sosa broke broke a home run record, the year he had like 50 or 60 home runs, we should know what year that is. You know what I'm saying? It's something called Google. I'm out there chilling with them, and these guys are shooting in the air, bro. There was not one cop in sight. 4th of July. So things like that make you go, when you finally hear them get snatched up, you're not surprised that these cops was making millions of dollars. They took advantage of the American dream. I mean, they made Washington Heights and Sugar Hill, or Washington Heights, because Sugar Hill is actually the areas where Gangsta Lou was from. Million dollar blocks. You said $1 million blocks, bro. They go, you know what I'm saying? I mean, when I mean millions, I mean I'm talking about allegedly. They said my friend that I know for over 30 years was making $1 million a day. That's public record.
Wow. And you know what's crazy is that now when people think like, wow, that sounds crazy, like where was the cops? Where was the cameras?
With the cameras.
Where was the
Yo,
cameras? Where was the cops? But people, that's what we saying, man. That's why we bringing this episode to you, man. We had people like the Dirty 30, man. These guys was under investigation only for 2 years, and they immediately found, you know what I'm saying, problems with their whole situation. They immediately arrested in September 28, 1994. 29 police officers was arrested, and 5 of them pleaded guilty, just like them little snitch rats. You feel me?
yo, I'm gonna tell you it touched on what you just said, good brother. We don't shoot like the actual hustlers wasn't making the block hot. I mean, there was some shooting sometimes, but somebody might have got shot. Like I told you, some stickum kids, if you wasn't paying, certain things was happening. But the guys that was making the money blocks hot was the Dirty 30. Who jumps out of a police car and start beating somebody up with a full uniform on? You got your blue and white uniform, putting hands and feet on somebody in a Chinese restaurant. You know what I'm saying? They was actually doing all the violence. You know what I'm saying? They was bugging out. And that's when the investigation came. It was the police. Like my mans and them, all right, on that block of 141, allegedly, I gotta say allegedly, they had that block since like 87, dogs. So when you have a run from 87 and you're a teenager, 87, and then the only reason what made you hot was the Dirty 30, that says a lot, man. You know what I'm saying? The police beat somebody up on your block.
So talk about that for me, like you know, your guy you was just telling us about, you know what I'm saying, Sugar Hill Tone, right? And we gonna
Yeah,
speak about the Sugar Hill Tone story at a later date, people. A lot of y'all can go follow Zeke Black. He reveals a lot of that story within his content, but we gonna get to it at a later date. But when it comes to Sugar Hill Tone, right, when
yeah.
his first indictments was involving the Dirty 30, correct?
Yeah, they told on him. Yeah, they put him in the mix. They told on him. Like some of the police, they one of the cops physically put him in a situation about how he was, he was paying him and he knew what they was doing, and he basically gave him gave like put him. He didn't put him in a situation, but he basically he played a major reason why Sugar Hill Tone caught his Fed charge. The Dirty 30, yeah. Because remember, they beat the guy up on the block. You know what I'm saying? So when it came time to dropping dimes on who was the suppliers, they gave Sugar Hill Tone up. You know what I'm saying? The cops gave him up. You know what I'm saying? But he came home from that, though. He did like 20 years. He came home from that, though. You know what I'm saying?
You said he ended up having to do how many years behind that? The cops ratting him out after they were selling big drugs for
Yep,
wholesale at that.
he
They
did
was the
20.
major plug in the block.
Yep, he did. He did 20.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy, man.
The cops have made like an affidavit saying that he basically lied, like, you know what I'm saying, like affidavit, like, yo, I told on him to get out of trouble, but it was really us. We was dirty cops, and we was, you know what I'm saying, like, and that's what helped Sugar Hill Tone get out. You know what I'm saying?
So like just for the record though, like far as Alpo Martinez, right? Big Alpo during that time, like of course these guys got investigated during 92, to 95, but at the same time they had already been on their radar.
Yeah,
Um so during the 80s, these guys was in power. It's on record, these guys was in power. Do
yeah.
you think that they had anything to do with Alpo Martinez story?
Nah, because Poe's by that time Poe was going to DC. By that time he was all the way in DC. He was knee deep in DC. It might have been around the time when they had the jukebox popping, when he was at the jukebox, I was paid. That's all that same little jurisdiction over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Somebody probably was paying somebody to keep him away, but that wasn't more so Pope. That might have been more AZ. You know what I'm saying? AZ might have been more so the one that was paying the police. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the block and you just stay off the block. You know what I'm saying? Keep us heads up. The normal paying cop situation. You know what I'm saying? But definitely wasn't Pope. You know what I'm saying? Because by that time, Alpo was down. We're talking 9-2, 9-1, 9-2. That's DC Pope. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know
Got you.
what I'm saying? That's like back then, that's DC Pope now. I would say AZ more. Probably a little bit of Rich. Rest in peace. They probably was more so with paying the police. That was, that kept you out of jail. You know what I'm saying? You pay the cops and you have a structured block. That was the West Side thing, man.
Let me ask you a question. Like when it comes to AZ and Alpo, a lot of people will credit Alpo. He has told on some individuals in different areas. Now, when it come to AZ, is his name clear and free and clear of them type of situations in Harlem?
I think Kevin Childs is upset at him. I mean, I heard an interview where Kevin Childs said that he told that he was in his paperwork or he's in some paperwork. Keep it 100, there's only one situation I know about that he physically testified when they shot him and they killed his friend and they killed his peoples in the house. That's
Right.
the only situation that he physically told is when he told on his brother-in-law. You know what I'm saying? Who shot him, who set him up. I won't say shot, but I wasn't there when he got shot. But his brother-in-law who set him up. You know what I'm saying? Any federal cases? Nah, I never heard a name and nothing. But you know what I'm saying? Kevin Childs said in the interview that a name was in something. So you'd be surprised, man. You know what I'm saying? You don't put it past nobody. Kevin Childs hasn't posted the statements yet. You know what I'm saying? But I always did hear that part about Kevin Childs saying that Alpo told him. That was a true. That was a before Hot 97 interview. Like people were saying that he was saying that about Alpo.
No, I got you. I got you. But like, what about AZ? Like when the situation with AZ, his name solid in Harlem. He's not known to be a person that has put people behind bars. That's what I'm getting to.
It depends who deals with him because some people don't. Some people, people pick and choose. You know what I'm saying? Like some people I know, they still love A. They don't look at A like he ratted, like he told on, like you know what I'm saying? Like he told on his brother-in-law, or he went and testified on the stand. Some people don't look at it like that. His age, like people there's people his age that still show him the same love. Like like AZ hasn't got kicked out of Harlem yet. You know what I'm saying? He come through Harlem and get love from his age group. I don't know about the youngins, but his age group, he gets that unconditional love. They don't like nobody calls AZ a rat except Kevin Childs. That's crazy, right? He actually testified on somebody. You know what I'm saying? But nobody calls him a rat, bro. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. I mean, you got some older cats that might like I know dudes that was still doing even after that, but still like, yo, I was with AZ in the town. We was chilling. Like a lot of dudes was still showing AZ love. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm pretty sure there's an amount of people that's calling them all type of rats also. But the people I know, they don't look at AZ as a rat. So to answer your question, the people I know, they don't look at him as like he's a rat.
Dope, man. Hey, man, Zeke Black, man. We just touched down, man, on the Dirty 30, man, NYP conspiracy, man. We definitely appreciate you for touching the platform. You enlightened us a little bit on Sugar Hill Tone. So,
Yes.
we definitely want to get some more insight on that story. People
Yes.
that's in the comments, man, or people that's watching, y'all drop them comments, man. Y'all let us know what's going on. Let me just check one more place to make sure that we ain't missing nothing. Um, yeah, we didn't miss anything. So, you know, it is what it is, man. I salute everybody. Zeke Black, you got anything to tell the public, man? Anything you got coming up?
Um, I got a couple. I got it. The New Year's coming up. I'm working on some more interviews. I interviewed UFO Free from Terror Squad. But I'm gonna try. I'm working on getting him on an interview on my IG Live. So there's gonna be more content. When I bring all these stories, it's coming from experience and being around a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And being so a lot of what I'm telling you guys is fact, but it's coming from me. Um, I was around these circles of certain people. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak for the world, but for the circles I was around, with dudes that was getting money, they don't look at certain things a certain way. Now you might say, "Oh, my cousin or uncles called him a rat." Okay, but the people that I was around, that's from Harlem. So certain Harlem cats that's older, they still love A. You know what I'm saying? Like AZ has not lost his Harlem past yet. Um, and like I said, man, we're gonna bring all the content, man. I mean, to this network, you're gonna get East Harlem, West Harlem, anything that you want to ask about the generations. You know what I'm saying? I was outside, I was free, I was in the street, and I did a lot of business. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, just support the channel, man. Just we're here for the support, and everything is real. And if you would like to Google anything, you can. If you know some people uptown, you can ask them the same questions. They'll give you the same answer. You know what I'm saying? I'm free Chubbs and free Sugar Hill Tone. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, man. Dope, man. We appreciate you, man. Zeke, man. We definitely appreciate you. Everybody, y'all go follow Zeke Black on YouTube. The link is in the description. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to donate to him and his platform, his Cash App is also available in the description. Um right now, man, we just gonna check off, man. We on the West Coast, man. It's like 6 a.m. So we gonna tap out. You dig? We salute, man. We know we gotta be the first, man. The early birds get the worm. You dig? And to them, man, it's definitely the Cloud Chaser TV, man. Salute. It's been one.
Salute, baby.